Wait, what? The United States buying Canada and making it the 51st state? Yep, you heard that right. It's a claim so outrageous, it could make your morning coffee spill. But is there any reality to this wild idea? Or is it just a pipe dream? Stick around as we unravel the jaw-dropping history, the seemingly impossible challenges, and the massive implications of such a move. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Let's start with history. Believe it or not, land purchases have played a huge role in shaping the United States. The Louisiana Purchase in 1803 doubled the country's size overnight. In 1867, Alaska was snapped up from Russia for just $7.2 million, a bargain, even for back then. But here's the thing. Canada isn't some unclaimed land on a map. It's an independent nation with its own economy, government, and vibrant culture. This isn't the 1800s. You can't just whip out your checkbook and say, "We'll take it." And let's be honest, even if this idea were remotely possible, it wouldn't be cheap. Politically, the idea of the US buying Canada is laughable. Canadians are fiercely proud of their healthcare system, multicultural identity, and, yes, they're Tim Hortons. The thought of giving up universal healthcare and parliamentary democracy to join the US? That's like asking Canadians to trade hockey for American football. It's just not happening. Canada's parliamentary system, with a prime minister at the helm, is very different from America's presidential model. Merging the two systems? It would be political chaos. Imagine trying to explain that in a national referendum. Cut to visuals of Canadian protests, maple leaf flags, and people chanting slogans. Let's not forget public opinion. A 2021 poll showed the majority of Canadians cherish their independence. They love being neighbors with the US, but joining the Union? That's a hard no, but wait, there's more. Legally, this would be a disaster. For starters, the United Nations prohibits countries from taking territory by force. And Canada's own constitution? Changing it to allow a merger would require every province to agree. And let me tell you, getting all of Canada's provinces to agree on anything is next to impossible. Remember when they debated daylight saving time? Yeah, that's child's play compared to this. Now, let's talk dollars and cents. Canada is one of the wealthiest nations in the world, with massive reserves of oil, timber, and freshwater. If the US ever considered buying Canada, we'd be talking trillions, yes, trillions of dollars. That's not just a price tag, that's a financial bombshell. Here's the kicker. The US and Canada already have a thriving economic partnership. Every year, they trade over $700 billion worth of goods and services. Why mess with such a solid relationship by proposing something so absurd? And what about the rest of the world? Canada is a key player in global organizations like NATO, the G7, and the Commonwealth. An annexation attempt would send shockwaves through these alliances. The backlash? Massive. Countries would condemn the US, and diplomatic relations could collapse overnight. And then there are indigenous nations. Both Canada and the US have treaties and agreements with indigenous peoples. This move would trigger fierce resistance, lawsuits, and protests on an unprecedented scale. We're talking a crisis that could take decades to untangle. So, what's the bottom line? The idea of the US buying Canada is pure fantasy, a logistical, political, and legal nightmare. Sure, it's an interesting thought experiment, but that's all it will ever be. Now, here's my question to you. Could you ever imagine Canada as America's 51st state? Or should the US and Canada stick to being the world's friendliest neighbors? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, hit like if this blew your mind, and don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating political deep dives. Trust me, You don't want to miss what's coming next.